The Sigma male is a pillar of inner strength and independence. He is the more internally focused sibling of the alpha male, quite willing to forego the social hierarchy in order to pursue inner strength, rather than relying on external validation and approval. He is highly self-sufficient and liberated, a lone wolf who prefers to live life on his own terms. But in today's video, we aren't here to discuss what the Sigma male is directly, but rather what he simply cannot stand. So let's get into the video and talk about 9 things that the Sigma male absolutely hates. Number 9. Incessant chatter. Sigma males absolutely hate pointless, incessant chatter, or talking just for the sake of talking, which is why they tend to keep to themselves and prefer to avoid getting sucked into a large group conversation. If the Sigma is forced into a situation where he has to communicate, then he won't be the most talkative of the group. In fact, he may say hardly anything at all. He is known to be a fantastic listener, but he prefers to speak only when he has something of value to add to the conversation, or when he feels like he has enough experience and understanding of the topic to engage. He knows that silence is golden and that talk is cheap, and when someone is running their mouth about nothing in particular, they're more likely to say something stupid or to embarrass themselves or others, and that's not the Sigma male style. Number 8. Playing by the rules. The Sigma is a non-conformist, meaning for the most part he is non-compliant with authority. This doesn't mean he engages in criminal activities, but rather that he hates rules and feeling forced to obey them, and will therefore only just toe the line if he absolutely has to. He is a rebel who goes against the grain, who follows his own path, and is quite happy to take calculated risks in order to stay authentic and true to who he is. He struggles with the idea of having to answer to anyone other than himself, and this is why you'll find many Sigma males to be self-employed, especially as they hold flexibility and peace in high regard. Not only do they hate being told what to do and feeling like they have to obey someone else, but they are fantastic at managing their own time and organizing themselves, and the idea of being micromanaged by someone above him puts him off working for someone else entirely. This doesn't mean that the Sigma male will always disagree with an authority figure. In fact, there may be many times that he is in full agreement, but that agreement arises from independent thought in which the Sigma male has deemed a certain authoritative decision or rule as valuable, for whatever reason. Number 7. Social standards and expectations. It wouldn't make sense for the non-conformist Sigma male to be so averse to rules and authority without being opposed to adhering to the standards and expectations set by society and the social hierarchy. The Sigma male absolutely detests these expectations, and unless he agrees with some of them, you can bet your life that he won't be meeting them. He sits on the outside of this social structure and can see the unhappiness that many people put up with simply because they live in a way that is determined by others and by the expectations that have been set by our society and subsequently imposed upon us. He won't have any part in that and will continue to live his life in a way that keeps him true to himself, his beliefs, and his values, even if that means ruffling a few feathers along the way. If someone has a problem with the way he lives his life, well, to the Sigma male, that's their problem, not his. Number 6. Not having enough alone time. The Sigma male is famously introspective with many introverted qualities. This, of course, means he thrives on his own and, in fact, needs time alone in order to feel re-energized and to keep his happiness levels topped up. The Sigma loves his own company, using this time to work on his own well-being, whether that be physical or emotional. He will make the most of his precious alone time by perhaps working out, meditating, working on personal projects, or just generally participating in activities that enrich his life and positively affect his future. He'll also make sure to get plenty of sleep as his busy and healthy lifestyle requires it. And of course, he understands just how important rest is for his overall well-being. He highly prioritizes his mental and physical health as he understands the connection between the two and their array of benefits. His fridge is likely to be filled with a lot of healthy food, and he'll be committed to keeping in shape with exercise. He may be thought of by some as being self-centered and selfish by putting in so much time and effort into his health, but the Sigma male isn't fazed by that at all. He knows what's good for him, and nobody can sway him from his focus on self-care and improvement. Number 5. Never-ending social interaction. As we know, it's of utmost importance that the Sigma gets time alone. Without this, he becomes exhausted and miserable. So it comes as no surprise that the Sigma male absolutely hates seemingly never-ending social interactions. When he's in a social situation with no escape, where he's forced to socialize and communicate with others for hours on end, he can withdraw as he becomes more and more drained, which makes him feel unhappy and miserable. The Sigma doesn't necessarily socialize for fun or to avoid being alone, but for a reason, either out of some sort of obligation or to advance his own personal goals and objectives. But once the social interaction has served its purpose for the Sigma male, he's ready to get back to solitude. And if that isn't possible for whatever reason and he's forced into a constant state of interaction, well, that's something he just cannot stand. Number 4. Those who don't evolve. The Sigma male is all about consistent personal growth, whether that's physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, or a combination of all four. Every day is a brand new opportunity to strive to be a better version of himself. Every day improving just a little more, every day taking steps to ensure that tomorrow he will have evolved in some way. To the Sigma, that's what life is all about. Taking each day as it comes, but making sure that he's always actively growing and changing for the better. So while he doesn't hate people who don't behave in the same way as him or have the same values and objectives, he hates the idea of those close to him stagnating and living in a way that doesn't enrich their lives or isn't helping themselves in some way. He wants to see the people he cares about living their lives to the fullest and making the most of each day, working on bettering themselves just as he does, because he knows how beneficial it is. After all, he's walking proof. Number 3. Conflict. Sigma males are known for their avoidance of confrontation due to their hatred of conflict. Drama, arguments, and tension are like poison to the sensitive Sigma, and he sees them as a total waste of time, preferring to cut his losses and bow out gracefully without battling it out. He'd much rather extend this time and energy on doing something that will enrich his own life, not pandering to someone else's desire for an argument. Despite this, most Sigma males realize that conflict can sometimes be a quicker path to resolution. So if it's absolutely required, they will have no problem in engaging and talking out their opponents if they deem it to be necessary and rational. But they do not use this to gloat and bask in their victory in order to establish dominance. They simply see it as a means to an end. If the Sigma male does decide to engage with conflict, he will express himself articulately, calmly, and without using aggression or intimidation. Most of the time, due to his calm and rational nature, the Sigma male actually possesses the power to diffuse tense situations or moments of conflict. And to the Sigma male, when forced into conflict, this is the ultimate win. Number 2. The limelight. As a loner and as someone who doesn't seek the validation of others to see himself as adequate and successful in life, he doesn't feel the need to show off or do things for attention. As a result, he absolutely hates those who crave to be the center of attention, seeing it as disingenuous and superficial. And he hates both of those things. The Sigma quite easily succeeds in life and love without the need to posture for center stage and without feeling compelled to brag or gloat. But don't be fooled. While he doesn't need to be around other people and certainly doesn't need their approval or validation, the Sigma male doesn't at all dislike being social and, on the contrary, loves hanging out with his friends just as much as the next guy. Number 1. Following the crowd. Sigmas absolutely hate superficiality and shallowness. So it's no wonder that he isn't a follower of the latest trends or fashions. You won't find him following the crowd, jostling to buy the latest gadget, or spending a ton of money on a pair of trainers that he could buy for a third of the price without the brand name. He just does not see the point and cannot for the life of him understand why others place so much importance on materialistic possessions and pandering to trends. He thinks there are things in life that are more worthwhile and that truly nourish a person, and those certainly do not include the latest fashions or newest trends that everyone seems to be jumping on. So it's no surprise then that the Sigma male is also very unlikely to be an avid social media user, and if he uses it at all, it's usually only for necessary communication purposes. Therefore, it's unlikely he will even know about the latest trends in the first place. And that's just the way he likes it. So there we have it, 9 things that the Sigma male absolutely hates. Is there anything we've missed? Let us know in the comment section below, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can keep up to date on all things Sigma.